chances are you've stumbled upon an epic tale of heroism and grit during your history lessons. The awe-inspiring salvage of the USS Squalus, hailed by many as the greatest submarine rescue of all time. The Squalus was plunged to the ocean floor, with 59 men trapped on board. However, thanks to the unwavering bravery of divers and military rescue equipment, the submarine was ultimately saved from a watery grave. How the rescue missions transformed over time in comparison to the past. What is the process involved in rescuing people from submarines during rescue operations? What equipment is utilized in these operations? Join us as we explore the fascinating world of submarine rescue operations, which have saved countless lives over the years. One of the earliest recorded submarine rescues was in 1917, when the HMS K-13 sank during sea trials in Scotland with 80 people on board. After nearly 10 hours, a vessel deployed divers who were able to communicate with the survivors. Later, an airline was attached to the vessel and the ballast tanks were blown. By midday on the 31st, the bows were hauled to the surface and supported by a pair of barges, while a hole was cut to let the 48 survivors out. This incredible feat of engineering and courage was a defining moment in the history of submarine rescue. The year 1939 marked another significant moment in the evolution of submarine rescue. The Sargo-class submarine USS Squalus sank during trials at Portsmouth, New Hampshire, with 33 survivors on board. The sister ship US Sculpin, which was also on site, located the disabled submarine and established that there were survivors. Military divers used McCann Rescue Chamber, a revised version of a diving bell invented by Lieutenant Commander Mommsen, to successfully rescue all 33 survivors in the first deep submarine rescue ever. McCann was in charge of chamber operations, with Mommsen commanding the divers. This rescue marked a milestone in the history of submarine rescue and paved the way for more advanced rescue techniques in the future. In 1973, the Canadian deep-sea submersible Submarine was trapped on the seabed at nearly 1,600 feet in the Irish Sea during a dive to lay telecommunications cable after losing buoyancy and sinking. Two similar submersibles and a remotely operated underwater vehicle eventually found the Submarine and connected two cables, which were then used to lift it back to the surface. Both crew members survived this incredible rescue effort, which demonstrated the advancements in technology and innovation that had occurred since the earlier rescues. The year 2005 saw yet another incredible submarine rescue. A Russian prize AS-28 mini-submarine was rescued from Pryozoveya Bay off the Kamchatka Peninsula after getting trapped at 190 meters in cables of the Russian coastal monitoring system. The Russian Navy first tried to lift the sub, then to drag it to shallower water, where it could be reached by divers, but the cables that fouled the propellers prevented this from working. On 7 August, the British Scorpio 45 RAUB arrived and managed to cut the prize loose. All 7 people on board survived. This rescue demonstrated the value of international cooperation and the important role that various nations play in submarine rescue efforts. Submarine rescue has come a long way since the early 20th century, but it remains a vital part of modern naval warfare. The history of submarine rescue is a testament to human ingenuity and courage in the face of great adversity. From the earliest days of submarine rescue to the present, the bravery of those involved in rescue efforts has saved countless lives and demonstrated the power of human innovation and teamwork. What is the method by which divers rescue submarine crews? What are the modern technologies employed in submarine rescue missions? Diving bells have been used since ancient times to explore the underwater world. Divers use it to explore the depths of the ocean. The use of a diving bell is critical when dealing with underwater emergencies, especially when there is a need to save crew members trapped in a submarine. Diving bells are used to transport divers to and from the surface at a particular depth, depending on the task at hand. They are deployed over the side of a vessel or platform, using a gantry or A-frame from which the clump weight and the bell are suspended. In dive support vessels with inbuilt saturation systems, the bell may be deployed through a moon pool. The bell handling system is also known as the Launch and Recovery System, LARS. The bell umbilical supplies gas to the bell gas panel and is separate from the diver's excursion umbilicals, which are connected to the gas panel on the inside of the bell. Divers use either a wet bell or a closed bell to save the crew members trapped in a submarine. Wet bell handling differs from closed bell handling in that there is no requirement to transfer the bell to and from the chamber system to make a pressure-tight connection. A wet bell will be required to maintain a finely controlled speed of descent and ascent and remain at a fixed depth within fairly close tolerances for the occupants to decompress at a specific ambient pressure, whereas a closed bell can be removed from the water without delay, and the speed of ascent and descent is not critical. A bell diving team will usually include 2 divers in the bell, designated the working diver and bellman, though they may alternate these roles during the dive. The bellman is a standby diver and umbilical tender from the bell to the working diver, the operator of the onboard gas distribution panel, and has an umbilical about 2 meters longer than the working diver to ensure that the working diver can be reached in an emergency. This can be adjusted by tying off the umbilicals inside the bell to limit deployment length, which must often be done in any case, to prevent the divers from approaching known hazards in the water. Depending on circumstances, there may also be a surface standby diver, with an attendant in case there is an emergency where the surface diver could assist. The team will be under the direct control of the diving supervisor, and will also include a winch operator, and may include a dedicated surface gas panel operator. Deployment usually starts by lowering the clump weight, which is a large ballast weight suspended from a cable that runs down from one side of the gantry, through a pair of sheaves on the sides of the weight, and up the other side back to the gantry, where it is fastened. The weight hangs freely between the 2 parts of the cable, and, due to its weight, hangs horizontally, and keeps the cable under tension. The bell hangs between the parts of the cable and has a fairlead on each side, which slides along the cable as it is lowered or lifted. Deployment of the bell is by a cable attached to the top. As the bell is lowered, the fairleads prevent it from rotating on the deployment cable, which would put a twist into the umbilical and risk loops or snagging. Divers qualified to work from bells are trained in the skills and procedures relevant to the type of bell they will be expected to work from. Another important method for rescuing a submarine crew involves raising the vessel to the surface. However, this is not always feasible due to the depth at which the submarine may be submerged, and the need to avoid decompression sickness for the crew. In such cases, rescue teams can employ different methods of rescuing the crew in situ, either through the use of a McCann rescue chamber or deep submergence rescue vehicles, DSRVs. The McCann rescue chamber is a type of underwater vehicle that can be lowered down to the submarine and then be attached to the rescue hatch with the help of divers, allowing for the safe transfer of crew members. It is a spherical chamber that can hold up to 6 people at a time and is equipped with emergency breathing and communication systems. The McCann rescue chamber was first used in 1939 to rescue the crew of a sunken submarine, the USS Squalus, off the coast of New Hampshire. Since then, the McCann rescue chamber has become an integral part of submarine rescue operations, and its design has been updated and improved to meet the demands of modern rescue operations. Rescue teams also employ DSRVs, specialized submarines designed for rescuing the crew of a disabled submarine. These vehicles can be launched from a mothership or a nearby base and can operate at depths of up to 2,000 feet, making them suitable for most rescue operations. DSRVs are equipped with a range of sensors and cameras that allow the crew to locate the disabled submarine and then attach to it through a specially designed rescue hatch. Once the hatch is secured, the DSRV can transfer the crew members to the surface and into a decompression chamber to avoid decompression sickness. One of the most famous uses of a DSRV was in the rescue of the crew of the USS Thresher in 1963. The USS Thresher was a nuclear-powered submarine that was lost during deep diving tests off the coast of Massachusetts. A DSRV was able to locate the submarine and attach to the rescue hatch, allowing for the safe transfer of crew members to the surface. If submarine rescue operations pique your interest, then you must watch the 2001 film Submerged, which depicts the rescue of the crew of USS Squalus. If you are aware of any other cool submarine movies, please share in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to watch more incredible videos like this.